Hey Alexa, what's the weather for today?
The current weather is 39 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Throughout the day you can expect more of the same, with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 36 degrees.
Hey, that's not too bad. Fine weather today, ladies and gentlemen. But good morning, no, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm here to provide another vlog. It's one of those days, man, where I have nothing else to talk about. Nothing else, because I do have something to talk about, which is later, but I kind of just want to, you know, I kind of just want to please as many people as possible here. The people that don't know, I want to please them. Like, I want to provide the normal Aldwen vlog, but then, you know, towards the end, it's gonna be, you know what kind of vlog it's gonna be, boys. You know, yeah, I'm already getting hyped for it. Gotta love Saturdays, man. Just a quick little shift, nothing crazy. Done with work, and it's time to get to work. On my video, I'm not done with the video. It inflates to 36. My back right tire is at 31. I really hope that this isn't gonna pop in the middle of the road or anything. 31, 36. I mean, that's not that bad. God damn. Absolute cinema is a phrase that everyone's been using very recently when it comes to wrestling. Because for some reason, I guess Triple H just loves movies. Because for the past couple of years here, we've been seeing absolute cinema. And it's only night one. It's only night one. There's also night two. So WrestleMania 41 night one just happened, and needless to say, it was great. I do have a couple of things that I could nitpick, and I'll talk about that. But overall, it was fire. It was definitely fire. Open up the laptop here. I got some notes that I was taking while I was watching the show, just so I don't have to, you know, go off course here. When I opened up Peacock, I looked at the time, and it said 9 hours. Or 8 hours, something like that. And when I opened it up, it was in kickoff, and it looked like it was gonna start on the 3-hour mark. So I was like, five hours worth of WrestleMania? Hey, spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was like 3.5 hours or something like that. No, it was 4-something hours. Bayley got injured. By who? We don't know. And that led to Adam Pearce having to tell Lyra Valkyria to be like, hey, you're gonna have to find a new partner, man. Which, by the way, this was my first time seeing, like, the full stage and stuff of WrestleMania. I saw the blueprint a few days ago, and I thought it looked pretty cool. And, you know what? It exceeded expectations. It looks great. Beautiful. Starts off with Gunther versus Jay. Gunther as the World Heavyweight Champion, Jay Uso. No Ludwig Kaiser in the entrance, which is pretty interesting. Just Gunther himself. Match-wise, this was pretty nice. I think it's probably one of Jay's better matches, because he's got Gunther on the other side. So Gunther started leaving with the title for some reason in the middle of the match, probably just kind of belittling Jay Uso, and that caused enough distraction for Gunther to hit Jay with the title. So we thought it was over, but it wasn't. Jay hits Gunther with 3 splashes, and I really thought he was gonna do all 4 corners, but after the 3 splashes, Jay hits Gunther with a sleeper hold. And in 2 seconds, Gunther taps out. What the fuck? And I saw a lot of people saying, oh, this is Gunther buried, blah, blah, blah. Gunther's gonna be a mid-card, you know, champion now, or he ain't even gonna touch a title anymore. This is over. I think that Gunther should have passed out from that instead of tap out in, like, the first 2 seconds. It made him look a little bit... it made him look less credible. But however, relax. He's not buried. Jesus, he's not buried. War Raiders versus New Day. By the way, my prediction for Gunther versus Jay was Jay winning. War Raiders versus New Day, my prediction was a New Day. I'm not gonna lie, I really wasn't paying attention to this. It was a cheap win. The New Day won, so. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, my prediction was Jade on this one. By the way, I just want to say, Jade Cargill's build is insane. Reminds me of, like, China from, you know, 2000s. In this match, the crowd is kind of dead. It's the theme for this whole WrestleMania, which makes me wonder, like, hey, are they thinking about doing a WrestleMania abroad? I really hope they do. Jade caught Naomi from the top rope, turned it into like a suplex. It was cool. She also had Naomi up on her shoulders, kind of like an electric chair. But then she turned her around and like power bombed her. It was pretty cool. Oh, look on the slap drop. Jade wins, which, you know, I'm right. W. This is why I have the championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. My prediction was LA Knight winning with a solo interference. Solo was in the entrance. That's something. Maybe that's probably only solos. Maybe that's the only solo appearance for WrestleMania. Who knows? Jacob comes out with a really cool mask, this like werewolf mask, and LA Knight coming out with a Maserati. Overall, this match was a W of a match, and there was this one spot where Jacob was gonna do like a moonsault, and then LA Knight caught him. Not the cleanest, but you know, the idea was there. A moonsault, and then LA Knight turned it into a BFT. LA Knight went down swinging, and it wasn't easy. Jacob had to hit him with a couple of moonsaults before he got the pin on LA Knight, which is, you know, making LA Knight look strong. El Grande Americano versus Ray Phoenix. My prediction was Ray on this one. Oh, for those of you that don't know, Ray actually got injured, so we didn't get a El Grande Americano versus Ray Mysterio. We got Ray Phoenix instead. This match was still good, alright? I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of it I wasn't watching because I had to let dogs out, but another fantastic match. Maybe Ray Mysterio would have done better, but I don't know. I can't complain about this match. Kinda sucks that Ray Phoenix lost though, but you know, it could have been Dragon Lee as well, and it would have made sense. It would have made more sense. Of course, Mr. El Grande Americano wins with the little metal plate that he put right here. No unmasking though. Tiffany versus Charlotte. My prediction was Tiffany on this one. I think we all know that Charlotte has a lot of power backstage, and it was shining through in this one. You know, usually the champion comes out last. No, it's Charlotte Flair, so she has to come last. Not the biggest deal, but it just made me like, why? Tiffy's entrance was pretty fire. It's like this Barbie themed, and she had like pod right here, a pod right here. She was in a pod right here. During Charlotte's entrance, Tiffy was holding the title like this. It made me wonder, I was like, is she gonna lose it? Oh god. She getting the last feel of the title before she gets buried. It's a good match. I'm not the biggest aficionado of matches, but I was enjoying it. It was fun. Tiffany was targeting the knee, which makes sense, and that helped her win the match, so I got another one right. This next one, I'm just gonna read you what I wrote down here, and we'll just move on right after. It was the Hall of Fame ceremony, which, by the way, there was no Lex Luger. Hopefully everything's okay. Triple H comes out because he's the main guy. He does a spit in the water thing, so Triple H spits water. Michael Cole, I wish I could do that. Wade Barrett, yours is more like a dribble than a spray. Michael Cole, that's what my wife says. Alright, let's move on. Absolute cinema. This is legendary. But I did kind of predict this because I'm like, hey, why would you kind of put any attention into it? You should have just not let him say anything like that. Seth comes out with a flamethrower, which is pretty funny. Very, very fire entrance, no pun intended, because I thought this was a glitch, but it wasn't. Seth comes out in all black, and he was, you know, he was like spraying the, you know, he's doing the flamethrower stuff, and then the screen cuts to black, but everyone was cheering, so maybe this is something. Well, when the screen comes back, Seth is in all white, and and then the lights are shining on him. CM Punk's entrance was pretty fire too, because Living Color, the band that sings Cult of Personality, was playing live and in living color. There you go. No countouts and no disqualifications. I don't think this was disclosed until tonight, or literally until right before the match started. I could be wrong, but this is the first time I heard of it, so I thought that there was going to be an interference, and I thought, oh, something like a rock is going to come out. Well, that didn't happen, but it did play a part into this whole thing. Fire match so far, by the way. I think outside of the whole, like, finish, this was a really good match. I think it's 5 stars. That's just me. At least 4.5. It's not in the Tokyo Dome, so it's definitely not 5 stars. Seth mentions Mox, John Moxley, or Dean Ambrose, which I thought was kind of a cool touch. There was almost a Shield, I literally note that, there was almost a Shield reunion where Seth and Roman were gonna do a powerbomb on CM Punk, and that's when I wrote this down. As soon as I wrote it down, Roman hits Seth instead, so I just put NVM for never mind. But Roman does a powerbomb himself. He powerbombs CM Punk into the English table. He powerbombs Seth on the Spanish table. Fire match, fire match, fire match, fire match. I just wrote that down 4 times just because I really enjoyed the match. Paul Heyman grabs a chair, and I thought, oh, here we go. This is where the interference thing is probably going to be playing. So Paul grabs the chair. He can't decide whether to give it to Roman or Punk, but he decides to give it to Punk eventually. Punk was about to hit Roman, but then, get this. And then, my tribal chief. He hands Roman the chair, and then, Roman beats down, CM Punk with the chair. He's like this, just glazing him in the back, being like, My tribal chief. And then Paul goes, my tribal chief, he's right there. Pointing to Seth. This is a perfect opportunity, my tribal chief. Roman was getting ready to hit the chair. Uppercut again. Roman got betrayed by Paul Heyman. Before that happened, I kind of knew that this was, or it was going to be like this, but I was still very excited. I was very excited. Low blows Roman. Gives the chair to Seth. Chair to Roman Reigns. Seth wins. Heel turn, baby. Seth Rollins is a Paul Heyman guy. Like I said, I had a feeling this was gonna happen because they keep hinting it. I was really hoping that Triple H wasn't dumb enough to do that. It's fine. I really thought that it was gonna be a swerve because, Seth was making it clearly obvious that there was something between him and Paul cooking. Now, there's a potential chance that he might align with Rock and Cena tomorrow, but we'll just see what happens. So, besides that though, I enjoyed it. And the new World Heavyweight Champion is me. You